These are the most common and concerning scams targeting cruise travelers right now. And while some are sophisticated, others look pretty innocent until you know. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now it seems like scammers will stop at nothing to separate cruise travelers from their money. But none of us wants to get caught up in any of this or to be a victim in any way. And let's face it, if we don't hear about it, how can we avoid them and share with others? Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Number one, the free cruise scam. Now, I actually thought this went away, so I haven't shared it in a while. But doing a quick search on Reddit, I found out it really is going strong with people wondering, is this a scam or is it legit? Well, unfortunately, it is a scam. And the idea is that people are going to receive some sort of notice that they have won a free 7-night cruise. And all they need to do is they need to sit through a presentation that is not a timeshare presentation to be able to collect their prize. Now, people who have gone through this have shared that while it's not technically a timeshare presentation, it is a vacation club presentation. And the idea is that after the high pressure sales tactics, it is very hard to redeem your prize with, honestly, after everything that I researched, nobody seems to have been able to redeem it. And not only that, if you do want to redeem your free cruise, there are port fees and taxes that a lot of people say it actually adds up to more than you would normally pay for that. Now, this one is pretty easy to avoid because if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Number two, this is one of the cruise Facebook scams. Now, you've probably heard of some of these before, but I do want to mention it because it keeps evolving and it really is pretty common. I actually had somebody message me about getting caught up in this. And basically what happens is in specific cruise Facebook groups is there are people that are saying that they are organizing a sort of craft workshop. And now the latest one seems to be painting seashells. And all you need to do is Venmo somebody $25 to reserve your spot to be able to join that group once on the ship. And this is supposed to be a fellow passenger. And of course, once you transfer the money to them, and maybe other people within the group do as well, they basically block your number. They're never going to be on the cruise and you're out that money. So definitely that is something to watch out for. Sometimes it's painting seashells, sometimes it's making a craft like bracelets, it's painting other items, but no matter what, don't transfer money in Facebook groups. Now, I have another wild story that you're going to want to know about, a scam to really watch out for that did happen in a cruise Facebook roll call group. I will share that in a couple of minutes. It's a new one that you have never heard about before. But first, I did want to share with you the scamming travel agent. So this is one to really watch out for, and it has some similarities to the last one. Now, I found this story on Reddit, so I'm not going to get into all of the specifics, but I am going to share the main points because I think there are some serious red flags here. Now, basically, the person booking the cruise found this travel agent through Facebook, and she was asking for recommendations in cruise Facebook groups for a travel agent because she was making a group booking for a first cruise. Now, this is where the problem came in because that travel agent, after making those bookings, choosing all of the cabins, that travel agent said that instead of a credit card, they wanted to be paid through PayPal or through another cash app. And of course, that in itself was the problem. And the people who ended up booking the cruise, well, basically, they were out about $10,000. So if you're ever booking a cruise with a travel agent, you want to make sure that you are paying with a credit card so that you have that additional protection. And of course, you do want to make sure that that person is reputable as well. Fake, authentic souvenirs. Now, this is perhaps more of a ripoff than it really is a scam, but oftentimes we can be in cruise ports of call in the Caribbean, in Europe, and there are items that the vendors or the store owners will say that they are made right in that country, but they're really not. Now, as an example, we were in Venice and we went into a store that said that all of their items were genuine Murano glass until we picked up an item and it actually said made in China. And as well, you could be in Caribbean cruise ports of call and you might have a local artisan, or you think it's a local artisan because they're next to paintings, or maybe they're next to wood carvings that they say that they made, until you walk to another booth or another store just down the street and you see that they have exactly the same thing. And beyond that, when you go to the next port of call, you see that those same carvings and paintings are there as well. There's a good chance that they are mass produced. Pickpockets. Now, this is a genuine problem in some places that you might visit. So something to really watch for, and especially in some of the Mediterranean cruise ports of call, this does seem to be a little bit more common. They're very busy cities. So something that you'll want to watch for is make sure that you are traveling either with a money belt, or even if you have a sling or a crossbody bag, that is right in front of you, that the zippers are secure. Something else you can do is, even with a backpack, you can wear it in front of you rather than in back of you. And one of the most important things when you're sitting at a table, if you're used to being maybe in the United States or in Canada or in Britain, you might be used to just putting your phone out on the table or just putting your handbag on a chair right next to you. You cannot do that there. So you really want to make sure that your phone is in your hand, or even better, secured in your handbag, and your handbag ideally should be on your lap. Bait and switch shopping. Now, this actually happened to me. So something that you'll want to do after you decide to purchase an item, especially if it's a little bit on the pricey side, stay with the item and the person who is wrapping that item. Because sometimes what happens in some of the stores is that after you decide to make that purchase, that item will be switched for another one that isn't of the same quality or just even looks somewhat different. And that's what happened to me. Basically, I was in Turkey. I bought a purse. The person who was wrapping it up, I stayed and talked with his wife. When I did get back to the cruise ship, I saw they completely switched it out for another item that I wouldn't have wanted to pay for. The unpaid cruise balance scam. Now, this one is pretty sophisticated, and it did result in one woman having her cruise canceled, as well as being out $900 in cruise cancellation fees. Now, what happened is a woman said she decided that she wanted to inquire about upgrading her cruise cabin. So she called the phone number for Carnival. And after calling the phone number, she was told there was an unpaid balance. There were some fees that she owed. Now, that really surprised her, and she gave her booking number and all of her personal information, the birth dates and everything. And she was told her cruise was going to be canceled if she didn't pay those fees. Now, keep in mind, she thought she was calling the cruise line. So not only did she pay those fees to somebody, but a few minutes after she got off the phone, she got an email from the cruise line that her cruise was canceled. So of course she gave all of her information, and apparently, perhaps out of goodwill or something, but the cruise line did refund her money. But this is a scam that you do not want to fall for. Now, this brings me to another story. You may have even heard about it, and this is the social media booking number sharing scam. Now, it really is different, because what happened is one woman allegedly shared her booking number unintentionally, but in her excitement about her cruise, she left her booking number visible on her social media posts, perhaps her stories. And unfortunately, somebody, it's hard to know who or why, but they canceled her family's suites for an upcoming cruise. Unfortunately, it was so close to the booking that at that point her cabins were already given away. And while the cruise line would have replaced the cabins with, I think it was interior cabins, it just wasn't the same. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, she ended up deciding not to go. It definitely was a ruined cruise. Now, I have a couple more in cruise ports of call, and then I am going to be sharing with you the newest one that probably I don't think you've heard of. It was on Facebook, but genuinely, it's the wildest scam that I've ever heard of. Animal photo watchouts. Now, this is something that you really want to watch out for, especially in some Caribbean ports of call, where you might have people that have little small monkeys with diapers that look very cute, and they'll offer for you to take a photo with the monkey. Remember, this is not something that's for free. Even though they say it's for free, they are going to be expecting money. And the same thing if you see any exotic animals, not only is this something that's not free because you are going to be pressured or intimidated to give a certain amount of money, but at the same time, oftentimes these animals are really kept in unethical conditions. Unlicensed taxi scams. Now really watch out for this, both in Caribbean cruise ports of call and even honestly, sometimes even in the United States. In Europe, you really want to make sure that you are using a legitimate taxi. Now, at many Caribbean cruise ports of call, they're pretty good about it. Right outside the cruise port, you're going to see signs that show how much it should cost to go from the cruise terminal to some of the popular beaches. And that really is the best thing. Go with those licensed taxis. And even when you're in the United States, make sure that you look for the legitimate taxi lines. Don't go with somebody who just has a sign that says taxi, or maybe on their phone it says Uber, and they're really not legitimate. Okay, so this next cruise scam is wild. I never had heard of it before, but I think it might be just starting to come up, in particular in the cruise Facebook roll call pages. So watch out for this one. Now, this is a GoFundMe scam. And basically what happens is in the cruise roll call, once people are already on the cruise, somebody will message in that roll call. And by the way, they've probably already been part of that roll call for a certain amount of time. And they say, unfortunately, their husband has passed away and they've set up a GoFundMe page. Now, why did they set up a GoFundMe page? Because they say that the cruise line is actually charging them money to keep their spouse in the morgue day by day, and they can't afford it. Then people will feel bad for them and they'll actually give money to this GoFundMe page. Now, as sad as this would be if it had genuinely happened, when I did research this, it does seem like family members are not charged for the person to be kept in the morgue every day, and they would be kept there until disembarkation. And at that point, it would be the family member's responsibility to see what they do with the body after that. In any case, I don't want to get into all of that, but if you see any GoFundMe pages set up within your cruise roll calls, well, that is something to really watch out for. Let the admins know to boot that person out. The cruise t-shirt or tumbler solicitation. Now, I couldn't leave it at the GoFundMe page for the dead husband, so I had to make sure that I included this one. This is not so much a scam, I don't think, but I do think that it is a solicitation, and it really is quite annoying. You see it in a lot of cruise Facebook groups, and basically what somebody does is they post something like, here are the t-shirts that I just bought for myself and my husband. Nobody in my own family appreciates this level of cool, so I'm posting it here. Inevitably, people say, I love those t-shirts. And then the person who posted it says, here, you can buy them here. Here, you can buy them here. Here, you can buy them here. So this is somebody who actually has a business, likely selling t-shirts, making the t-shirts, but they are soliciting within the group. That is their intention. Now, if you want to know about more cruise scams, I'm going to leave a video right after this one for you to check out. And I'd love to hear from you. Please let me know if you've ever witnessed any cruise scams or any scams while traveling. Please let me know down in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now and happy cruising.